Okay, this week I chose to read The Summer of the Swans by Betsy Byers and illustrated by Ted Kokonis. Um, there are very few pictures throughout it, but I can show you one just as an example. They're done in either ink or graphite. They are just black and white drawings. And I think that the main point here is to just give you a little bit of setting and also to show the characters' expressions and just kind of what they look like, mainly for the reader just to visualize what's going on. They're very simple. Um, anyway, so this book won the Newbery Award in 1971. Um, and just to summarize pretty quickly, there are kind of a lot of characters in it as it is a chapter book. The main few are Sarah, she tells the story, her little brother Charlie. Charlie is 10 years old and he has a mental handicap. He cannot speak. And then they have an older sister named Wanda, and all three of them live with their aunt and named Willie. And Willie is a bit over the top. She's kind of sporadic and loud. There's another boy named Joe Medley, and he becomes a big character later on. I guess one of the others that's a little bit important to mention would be Mary, which is Sarah's best friend, and she comes up here and there throughout the book as well. Um, so Sarah is at that age in her life. She is in middle school, and so everything's just kind of annoying to her. She doesn't like her appearance. She doesn't really know who she is. She can't decide why she's mad all the time. Her little brother annoys her. Her aunt annoys her. Her sister is so beautiful. She'll never look like her. That's kind of all that her mind works around is me, me, me. She's in middle school. Anyway, so one day, her sister Wanda and her boyfriend go to a pond to see some swans that have flown over from the university, and Sarah takes Charlie to go see them as well. Um, when they get there, Charlie is so mesmerized he doesn't even want to leave. He thinks they're so beautiful. When they get home, a button has fallen off his pajamas. He keeps trying to get people to notice it and help him out, but everybody's too busy doing their own thing. So he goes to bed just obsessing over this button. He can't sleep. He gets up, he looks out the window, and he sees what he thinks is a swan. And so he decides to go to the park where the swans were, but on his way, he gets terribly lost. The next day, the whole town is looking for him. Willie calls their father Sam. He says that he'll come at the end of the day if they haven't found him yet, which Sarah just knew he wouldn't come. Um, and Sarah and Mary go to look for him with a boy named Joe Medley. And Sarah had always hated Joe Medley because she thought that he had stolen Charlie's watch at one point. Mary clears the air. Apparently, Joe had just returned it after some bullies had taken it from Charlie. So they kind of reconcile and they become friends. Long story short, um, Joe and Sarah find Charlie in a ravine, and he's just traumatized and crying, and Sarah and Charlie hug it out, and this is the first time she feels happy all year, and she's just so grateful for everyone she has in her life. And then Joe asks her to go to a party with him, and that's pretty much how it ends. So I think that one of the main themes is obviously forgiveness. She gets over the frustration that she had at Joe, and likewise, he's not upset with her for calling him out wrongfully. And then another one is just satisfaction with your own life, being grateful for what you have. Sarah didn't know how much she appreciated her family members until she thought she lost one of them. For the activity that I would do, I would teach the class how to make origami swans, and then on each wing, I would have them write one thing that they like about themselves. And then I would have a big sheet of bulletin paper in the hallway that's blue, and then they could all staple their swans onto it, and we'd have our own pond like in the book. For older kids, we would do the same activity, but then they would also write a couple of paragraphs. They'd write at the top the two things that they wrote on the swans, and then they would have a paragraph each about two more things that they could improve about themselves. So that's about it.